Today, I want to talk to you about villains who were in the right. That means villains whose purpose in the story, video game, movie, whatever, were justified and you can't help but root for them and understand their reasoning for doing what they do. First off, we'll start with the Reapers from Mass Effect, from the BioWare game, before they changed the ending and all that kind of fun stuff. All that they were really trying to do was save the entire universe by stopping advanced races from using dark matter to wipe out all life in the entire galaxy before other races had a chance to tech up and, explore space and all that. Basically, in that game, if the Reapers did not exist, all of humanity would have been wiped out before it ever began, essentially. But it's not just about humanity, it's all the other aliens and all the other species in that game. They would have just never existed because the very first aliens would have just wiped out the universe through overusage of dark matter, so that's why the Reapers wipe out civilizations before they get that far up in the tech tree, essentially, saving the entire galaxy. Next up, you have Magneto from the X-Men. He's just fighting back and trying to survive his attackers initially. Like, even when he sook out peace to live just as a factory worker, as soon as his coworkers found out that he was a mutant, they killed his family. Like, really? There's just too many instances in the comic books and the show, the cartoon, the movies, where he's just pushed beyond what any person should have to deal with and just lashes out because of it. He's not in the wrong for what he's doing. Alright, so Powerpuff Girls has a villain called Mojo Jojo, and he just wants to bring free energy and advanced technology to the people, and there's like an episode where he actually does that, and then the Powerpuff Girls come and mess them all up. And for those that don't know, his backstory is he was actually created first by the professor, and he got kicked out on the street, though, because the professor neglected him over the Powerpuff Girls. So it's just really scuffed and messed up. What about the Resident Evil Red Queen? She's just trying to lock down the facility and prevent the virus from spreading. What about Lion King? You got Scar? Okay, he just wants to be king because, well, he's the second to the successor, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time. But he doesn't get much food because of that, and he's also beaten up regularly, and he doesn't even get a girlfriend. I mean, who wouldn't become Scar after that? Now, this is an oldie, but Mr. Wilson from Dennis the Menace, and let me tell you, there's one reason why, okay? So, Mr. Wilson has been growing this flower. I don't remember the name of the flower because I was young when I watched it, but essentially it takes 40 real-life years for the thing to bloom, and then the flower only has 10 seconds to live before it dies, okay? And in the exact moment that he's been cultivating this flower his entire adult life, Dennis does something stupid and distracts him, and he misses it. Who wouldn't be pissed that some little twerp wasted 40 years of your life? What about Ken from the Bee Movie, okay? So not only do you have this talking bee that stole your girlfriend, but also made you believe that you were going crazy and being allergic to bees, he's only naturally a villain because of that. And then King Kong is another one, right? He was just minding his own business in the jungle or whatever, and then humans come and just take him away. They imprison him, they, ship him off to be a spectacle to fuel corporate greed, and of course he wants to break out and be free. Alright, what about the boss from Metal Gear Solid 3? And I'm not talking about a boss, encounter, I'm talking about the boss. Okay, the thing is, here's a spoiler, so you can mute this part of the video if you've never played Metal Gear Solid 3. The boss isn't really a villain. She was an undercover pretending to join the bad guys under orders from the US government, so she was technically the hero of Metal Gear Solid 3. Okay, let's talk about Batman for a second, the Red Hood. Okay, so Batman, he takes the criminals, he beats them up, he brutalizes them, puts them in body casts, they go to Arkham. They usually get experimented on and tortured, and then they come back even worse than before, even more powerful, and it makes Batman terrible for Gotham because he's just like power leveling the bad guys up, right? But then Red Hood is just like, nah, and he just kills them. He just kills the bad guys straight up. You could argue that, oh, killing bad, Batman no kill, but Red Hood is saving people. If all the bad guys are dead, then people can live in peace. What about Otto from Wall-E? I mean, he's not even really a villain. He's just an AI that follows his programming. He doesn't, speak unless it's necessary. He doesn't have any motives. He does everything efficiently. He's only considered bad because he's just following his programming to protect the humans and don't let them come back to Earth. I mean, have you seen the humans in that show? They can't even walk. What about SpongeBob? A lot of people think Squidward is a villain, but have you seen how annoying SpongeBob can be? But think of it from Squidward's perspective if you're not too privileged, okay? Squidward is a minimum wage worker in a monotonous, crappy day job with a horrible boss who only wants him to earn as little money as possible and cut costs everywhere. Okay, if you've ever worked in retail or fast food, you know the feeling. And the moments where Squidward isn't suffering at his wagey job, you've got SpongeBob trolling the hell out of him and bullying him about his ineptitude at music. Dr. Breen from Half-Life 2. He's right. Humanity can't win against the Combine. They hold all of the power, and only by bending the knee to them is the only way that the humans won't be completely eradicated. Captain Hook from Peter Pan. For those that don't know the real story of Peter Pan, Peter Pan's a murderer that kills children before they age out and become pirates. So Captain Hook is trying to save them. I mean, there is no way he is the villain. What about Dexter Morgan? You know, the serial killer, right? He's just killing other bad guys, so does that make him bad? I don't think so. I always debate this one. What about Gaston from Beauty and the Beast? He's just trying to save the townspeople from a monster. He's not really doing things maliciously. He doesn't have evil intentions. He just has the usual intentions that any other guy in a village would have. The Xenomorphs in Aliens 2. Technically, the humans invaded them, and how are they the bad guys? Yeah, if you're rooting for humanity, sure, but the humans are the invaders in that movie. There are people out there that believe Tom from Tom and Jerry is the villain. Tom is the cat, by the way, for those that don't remember. How is the cat the villain? He just wants to be a good house cat, get the rat, protect his food, protect the household. But Jerry is always there stealing his food, trolling Tom, beating Tom up with hammers. And Jerry's just a douchebag. All right, what about Maruki from Persona 5 Royal? Now, this character is not in the original Persona 5, okay? He just wants to make a utopia where everyone's lives happily, completely fulfilled. They have everything that they've ever desired. Friends, family, recognition, everything they've ever wanted. While you play the game, the story always points out how often and powerless and exploited the characters that you care most about, and how they're the victims of the same type of unfairness. It really gets in your head, and that the whole world is like this, especially the Persona universe. And then eventually you battle him, and you have the option to join him, right? And if you do so, you get the bad ending, right? You surrender your free will and your memory, and you live in this fantasy land. And it really is a utopia, though, right? And while most villains want to create the perfect society or whatever, it's always at the expense of someone. But not with this character. No one suffers based on this choice, because he actually emphasizes with humanity. And there is a similar. Does anyone remember that old Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced game where one of your party members is like a kid in a wheelchair in the real world, and the main character is like, "No, we can't stay in this fantasy world." He's basically the villain in that one. Alright guys, that's all I've got. Normally I would make these videos longer, but they don't really perform well because I'm more of a video game guide channel. Check out my other videos if you like video games and guides. I'm SoulBidgy, thanks for watching. As always, be a bro and stay swole. If this video was interesting, funny, or if you want to discuss any of it, I read every single comment and I make videos every single day. So make sure you're subscribed, click the video on the right side of the screen. It is a good one. I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Take care.